Here's 5 more YouTube channels that aren't a waste of time or are a good way to waste time.
This guy, he's eccentric. He's in Europe. I believe he's actually in Sweden, maybe? He's got a fun accent. He's interesting and reliable, is my quick notes I wrote down. He's always got some crazy piece of gear, either a guitar or an amp that's like holy grail stuff. I don't know where he gets it. He's obviously got some sort of fund for getting really unique, rare things. And he's also super down to earth. He'll find you $100 amp that sounds 99% as good and compare them. And it's just, he's fun to watch. He's interesting. I already said that. He's a pretty good guitar player. And he knows what he wants to hear, and he gives that to the listener, to the viewer. So that's good. It's overall an enjoyable learning experience, which is, you know, what I'm into on YouTube. Good stuff. Dave is a grumpy Canadian. He's knowledgeable, he's opinionated, he's funny, he's entertaining, and you can't help but learn stuff. If I'm bored or if I'm trying to get something done, I can let Dave play in the background and, you know, chuckle here and there, and it just makes for a better whatever I'm doing, helps time go faster. He complains a lot, but overall it's very entertaining and I enjoy it. Check it out, see what you think. Steve Guttenberg, the other Steve Guttenberg. It's funny because now when you search Steve Guttenberg, the Audiophiliac comes up, which is good. But the old Steve Guttenberg, he's kind of a poor man's Bill Murray. But this Steve Guttenberg, he's written a lot of articles for a lot of audiophile magazines and websites, and he's kind of like stereotypical. He's like a movie character. He looks like what I picture an audiophile looking like. If he says something is good, I believe him. If he says something is, not so good, or whatever it is, he's a trustworthy person, which is what you want from somebody who reviews stuff that you're going to spend money on. So I think to sum it up for Mr. Guttenberg, he's a really nice resource for knowledge about audiophile products and systems and things, and he's a great way to save yourself money, because if you listen to him and follow his advice, you're going to find really good stuff at really good prices.
It's DC resistance.
Man, Uncle Doug, he's sort of like, he's an acquired taste. Don't get me wrong. He's an acquired taste because he's so dry and slow and methodical and meticulous, which are things you want from a tube amp repairman or somebody who's going to modify, customize, restore your tube amp. You want them to know all the little tiny details, and be able to, it's just part of what makes him good at what he does. And but my favorite thing about Doug is I'll put him on and I can fall asleep so quick listening to Doug, and that's not a criticism. I love it. But he's an interesting guy. He reminds me of like the kind of dry, straight-laced uncle who has this crazy hot rod in the garage that you're not allowed to touch. Z Reviews. On paper, I should hate Z Reviews. He's an anime-loving, tacky, gross, video game headset on, humor. He's that world, but he's really funny and he knows what he's talking about. I can see some people just hating every second of it, but he's the first place I go if I'm looking at a pair of headphones, or maybe I want to check out some cheaper, affordable, small but good sounding like budget speakers, headphone amps, even like listening DACs and stuff. He's the first place I go because he's good at what he does, basically. You could spend a whole day just following him around his goofy cat, his goofy apartment, and you like sort of want to take a shower after you've watched it, but it's still fun. So check it out. Thanks for watching this episode.